Let's talk about anxiety, this very important topic that affects millions of people in today's world. Let's understand what anxiety actually is, why it happens, and most importantly, how to manage it in a healthy and sustainable way. Anxiety is a word we hear a lot nowadays, but understanding what it actually means is very important. When someone experiences anxiety, certain specific reactions happen in their mind and body. The heart starts beating fast, breathing becomes difficult, hands start shaking, and most importantly, a storm of negative thoughts comes into the mind. It's important to understand that anxiety is not a weakness. It's a natural response from your brain that gets activated during danger. Thousands of years ago, when our ancestors lived in forests, they faced real dangers, wild animals, enemies, hunger. At that time, anxiety was a survival tool that kept them safe. When danger appeared, adrenaline would be released in the body, and they would quickly go into fight or flight mode. But in today's times, the situation has changed. Today, we don't have to fear wild animals, but rather deadlines, bills, relationships, and social pressure. The problem is that our brain still reacts in the same old way. Whether it's responding to an important email or giving a presentation, the brain considers this as big a threat as facing a lion. To understand anxiety, it's necessary to know that it has many layers. The first layer is physical, when your body releases stress hormones. The second layer is emotional, when you feel fear, worry, or helplessness. And the third layer is cognitive, when your thoughts get stuck in negative patterns. Many people try to ignore their anxiety or try to fight it, but this approach doesn't work. When you try to push anxiety away, it becomes stronger. The more you try to suppress anxiety, the more it grows. So the first step is acceptance. This doesn't mean you give up, but rather it means you recognize that these feelings are real and valid. Anxiety triggers are different for everyone. Some people get anxiety from going into crowds, some from being alone. Some are afraid of future uncertainty, while some keep remembering past mistakes. Identifying these triggers is very important because when you know what triggers your anxiety, you can prepare for it. Another important thing to understand is that there's a difference between anxiety and fear. Fear is a response to a specific threat, like if a dog is barking in front of you, feeling scared is natural, but anxiety is mostly about imagined or future possibilities, like what if I fail? What if people judge me? You are not alone. Millions of people deal with anxiety every day, and the best thing is, anxiety can be managed. The first step is understanding it, accepting it, and then slowly learning to work with it. Sometimes anxiety comes so quickly that it feels like control has completely slipped away. In such moments, you don't need long-term solutions, but immediate relief, and this is where emergency tools come in handy. Breathing techniques are the most powerful tool for anxiety management because breathing is the only automatic body function that we can also consciously control. When you're anxious, your breathing becomes shallow and fast, which signals your body that there's danger and anxiety increases further. The most simple and effective technique is 4-7-8 breathing, where you breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, then hold for 7 counts, and then breathe out through your mouth for 8 counts. In the beginning, this might feel a bit strange, but with practice, it becomes very easy. Repeating this technique 3 to 4 times helps your nervous system start to calm down. Besides breathing, grounding techniques are also very helpful. Grounding means bringing yourself to the present moment. When an anxiety attack happens, your mind goes to the past or future, and grounding brings you back to here and now. The most famous grounding technique is the 5-4-3-2-1 method, where you look at 5 things around you and mentally note them. Then 4 things you can touch, like your chair or your clothes. Then 3 sounds you can hear, maybe the fan or outside traffic. Then 2 smells, and finally 1 thing you can taste. This technique is so powerful because it keeps your mind busy. Your mind cannot focus on both anxious thoughts and sensory observations at the same time. Physical grounding is also very helpful. Place your feet firmly on the ground and feel the ground supporting you. Rub your hands together and feel the warmth. Wash your face with cold water. These sharp sensations jolt your mind and break the anxiety spiral. The biggest part of anxiety is in our thoughts. A small worry starts, and then it grows bigger like a snowball. One thought triggers another thought, and within minutes you're imagining worst-case scenarios that will probably never happen. When you're anxious, your brain goes into negativity bias, meaning you automatically start focusing on negative possibilities and ignore positive or neutral possibilities. You need to learn to watch your thoughts like an observer. When an anxious thought comes, identify it and mentally label it as an anxious thought. This helps you create some distance from the thoughts. Looking at a thought as, "I'm thinking that I'll fail," is better than just thinking, "I'll fail." Recognizing cognitive distortions is also very important. These are patterns where our mind twists reality. Catastrophizing is a common distortion, where we automatically assume the worst-case scenario. Challenging these distortions is a powerful technique. When you get a negative thought, ask yourself, is this thought a fact or opinion? Is there any evidence in its favor? Could there be an alternative explanation? Thought replacement is also an effective strategy. When a negative thought comes, replace it with a realistic, balanced thought. Worry time technique also works very well. Fix 15 to 20 minutes in your day just for worrying. When anxious thoughts come during the day, mentally note, "I'll think about this during my worry time." This sounds strange but works because it gives your mind structure and stops constant worrying throughout the day. Stopping rumination is also very important, where you keep repeating the same negative thoughts without any solution. To break rumination, physical activity helps a lot. Going for a walk, cleaning something, because physical movement helps break the mental loop. Morning time is very important because it sets the tone for the whole day. If you start the day with anxious and stressed feelings, there's a higher chance you'll stay in that mode all day. But if you start with calm and centered feelings, handling the day's challenges becomes easier. A calm morning routine starts at night. Without good sleep, a good morning isn't possible. Going to bed at a consistent time at night and waking up at a consistent time in the morning regulates your body clock. When you wake up, instead of checking your phone first, take some mindful moments. Sit in bed, take some deep breaths, and feel your body. Drinking water is one of the most important morning things. Your body becomes dehydrated overnight, and drinking 1 or 2 glasses of water brings energy. Movement is very important, no matter how light it is. Simple stretching, some yoga poses, or a little walking is enough. Movement releases endorphins, which naturally reduce anxiety.
Mindfulness or meditation practice is perfect for the morning. Even just 5 to 10 minutes of practice can make a big difference. Skipping breakfast is very bad for anxiety. When your blood sugar is low, anxiety symptoms get worse. Eating a healthy breakfast with protein and complex carbs gives you stable energy. Limiting screen time in the morning is also very important. Checking your phone as soon as you wake up, reading news, or scrolling social media can all instantly trigger anxiety. Planning and prioritizing can also be part of the morning routine. Identify the main tasks of the day, just the top 3 priorities, so you get clarity. Gratitude practice is also powerful. Think of 3 things you're grateful for. This seems very simple, but doing it regularly shifts your brain from negativity to positivity. Consistency is most important. Don't try to create a perfect routine that you can't follow. Start small, maybe just a 15-minute routine that's realistic. Work anxiety is very common because career is connected to both our identity and financial security. Deadlines, performance pressure, difficult colleagues, job insecurity, all these factors create anxiety. The workday should start right. Instead of jumping into emails immediately upon reaching the office, invest the first 10 to 15 minutes in planning. What are today's main tasks? Which meetings need preparation? What's urgent and what's important? This clarity reduces anxiety a lot. Prioritization is a crucial skill. Everything cannot be urgent. Avoid multitasking. Research shows that multitasking actually decreases productivity and increases stress. Focus on one task at a time. Taking breaks is not a luxury, but a necessity. Taking a 10 to 15-minute break every 90 minutes refreshes the brain. Setting boundaries is very important. You don't have to reply to every email immediately. You don't have to say yes to every meeting. Learn to say no respectfully. To deal with imposter syndrome, document your achievements. Maintain a file where you keep noting your wins, positive feedback, completed projects. Managing perfectionism is also necessary. Learn to accept good enough. 100% perfection isn't possible in every task. Keep communication clear and proactive. If a deadline doesn't seem realistic, say so in advance. If something isn't clear, ask for clarification. Maintaining work-life balance is critical. Avoid checking work emails after work hours. Let the weekend be a weekend. Build a support system. Have some trusted colleagues in the office you can talk to. Isolation increases anxiety. Don't ignore physical health. If you're sitting all day in a desk job, some movement every hour is necessary. Stay hydrated, keep healthy snacks, keep perspective. The job is important, but it's not your whole life. A bad day at work doesn't mean a bad life. Financial anxiety is probably the most common and most intense anxiety. Money is connected to our basic needs: food, shelter, healthcare. When there's no financial security, constant stress remains. The first step is clearly understanding your financial situation. Many people avoid their finances because they're afraid to look, but ignorance increases anxiety. Make a simple budget. Create a basic list of how much monthly income is and where expenses are going. Tracking small expenses is very revealing. Daily coffee, online shopping, subscriptions that aren't being used, these small things add up. Building an emergency fund should be a priority, ideally equal to 3 to 6 months of expenses. In the beginning, this might seem impossible, but start with small amounts. Set aside even 500 or 1,000 rupees every month. Gradually, this will build. Debt anxiety is very real. If there are multiple debts, make a plan. Avoid lifestyle inflation. When income increases, it seems natural to automatically increase expenses, but be a bit conscious. Invest in financial education. Read books about personal finance, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos. The more you understand, the more confident you'll feel. Don't ignore insurance. Health insurance is most important because a medical emergency can be financially devastating. Avoid the comparison trap. Everyone shows their best life on social media. You don't know what financial situation they're in. Set financial goals, but keep them realistic. Specific, measurable, achievable goals reduce anxiety. Use automation. As soon as salary comes, have some amount automatically transferred to savings account. Gratitude practice also works in financial anxiety. Be grateful for what you have now. Remember that the financial journey will have ups and downs. There will be setbacks. Unexpected expenses will come. But what's important is consistently making an effort. The relationship between anxiety and insomnia is a vicious cycle. Sleep doesn't come because of anxiety, and anxiety increases because of lack of sleep. When you're tired, emotional regulation becomes difficult. The basics of sleep hygiene are very important. The first thing is a consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Bedroom environment matters. The room should be dark, quiet, and cool. Use the bed only for sleep. Avoid scrolling your phone in bed, watching TV, or working. Limiting screen time before bedtime is very important. The blue light from phones, tablets, and laptops suppresses melatonin production. Create an evening routine that signals to your body that it's time to sleep. A warm bath, reading, gentle stretching, meditation. Understand the effects of caffeine and alcohol. Caffeine stays in the system for 6 to 8 hours, so avoid caffeine after the afternoon. Avoid heavy dinners. Sleeping when your stomach is full or digestion is happening is uncomfortable. Exercise should be part of daily routine, but avoid intense exercise 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. Practice relaxation techniques, progressive muscle relaxation, deep breathing exercises, guided meditation. Maintain a worry journal. If thoughts keep running while lying in bed, write them down before bedtime. Cognitive techniques are also helpful. The thought, "What if I don't sleep?" creates anxiety. Challenge it. Nothing will happen from one night of less sleep. Be cautious about sleep supplements. Consult a doctor first. Remember that sleep problems don't solve overnight. Consistency and patience are necessary. Some nights will be good, some won't. But if you consistently follow healthy sleep habits, there will be gradual improvement.
Mind and body are deeply connected to each other. What you do with your body directly affects your mental state. Movement is a natural anxiety reducer. When you exercise, endorphins are released in the body, which improve mood. But exercise doesn't mean gym membership or intense workouts. Simple walking is also very powerful. Different types of movement give different benefits. Aerobic exercise is good for cardiovascular health. Strength training builds confidence. Yoga and stretching enhance flexibility and mind-body connection. Consistency is more important than intensity. 15 minutes of movement every day is better than 2 hours of intense workout once a week. Nutrition also has a huge impact on anxiety. Blood sugar spikes and crashes can mimic anxiety symptoms. Maintaining stable blood sugar is very important. Eating regular meals is important. Skipping meals causes blood sugar to drop, which can trigger anxiety. Complex carbohydrates give sustained energy. Refined carbs and sugar give a quick spike, then a crash. Protein should be in every meal. It provides satiety and keeps blood sugar stable. Omega-3 fatty acids are important for brain health, and studies show they can reduce anxiety. Magnesium plays a role in anxiety reduction. Dark leafy greens, nuts, and seeds have magnesium. The connection between gut health and mental health is an emerging research area. Probiotics support gut bacteria, which are involved in mood regulation. Be mindful with caffeine. Excess caffeine can trigger anxiety. Alcohol might seem to give temporary relief, but worsens anxiety in the long term. Don't underestimate hydration. Dehydration causes fatigue, headaches, and irritability. Practice mindful eating. Eat slowly, notice the taste, listen to your body's hunger and fullness cues. Restrictive diets or food rules can create anxiety. A balanced approach is better. We live in a hyper-connected world where information and stimulation are available 24/7. The biggest problem with constant connectivity is that it creates an always-on mode. Notifications keep buzzing all the time. There's pressure to reply to messages immediately. Social media is specifically problematic for anxiety. Everyone shows their curated best life, and when we see this, we compare it to our whole reality. Doom scrolling is a serious problem. News apps and social media algorithms prioritize negative content, and reading bad news for hours feeds anxiety. Digital detox doesn't mean completely abandoning technology. That's unrealistic, but healthy boundaries can definitely be set. Track how much time you actually spend on screens. Notification management is very important. Not every app should have permission to send notifications. Create designated phone-free times. No phones during meals, no phones in bed. Consider deleting social media apps from your phone, or at least remove them from the home screen. Curate your feed. Unfollow accounts that make you feel anxious. Use Do Not Disturb mode. Set specific times when the phone is silent. Check email at specific times, not constantly. Prioritize real-world connections. Face-to-face interactions and phone calls are more fulfilling than digital messaging. Develop hobbies that are screen-free, reading physical books, gardening, cooking, painting. Spend time in nature. Outdoor activities naturally replace screen time. Practice mindful consumption. When you pick up your phone, deliberately decide why. Try a digital Sabbath, 1 day a week or a few hours completely digital-free. Use technology as a tool, not as a master. More important than fear of missing out is joy of missing out. You don't need to be involved in everything. Neuroplasticity means your brain is not rigid. It can change. The thought patterns and behaviors you repeatedly do strengthen neural pathways. Anxiety is also a learned pattern, and what can be learned can also be unlearned. Cognitive behavioral therapy teaches that thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are interconnected. By changing thoughts, you can change feelings and behaviors. Maintaining thought records is a powerful tool. When anxiety happens, note the situation, automatic thoughts, and emotions, then evaluate the evidence. Learn cognitive restructuring. Identify distorted thoughts and replace them with realistic thoughts. Exposure therapy is a crucial part of anxiety management. The things we avoid become scarier. Gradual exposure reduces fear. Make an exposure hierarchy. Create a list from least anxiety-provoking situations to most anxiety-provoking situations and systematically face them. Mindfulness-based cognitive therapy is effective in reducing anxiety. With regular meditation practice, measurable changes happen in brain structure. The amygdala becomes less reactive, the prefrontal cortex becomes more active. Body scan meditation helps ground anxiety. Loving kindness meditation helps develop self-compassion. Visualization techniques can also rewire the brain, visualizing success. For the brain, there's very little difference between imagined experiences and real experiences. Make positive affirmations evidence-based. Make a list of your strengths with evidence. Gratitude journaling shifts the brain toward positive bias. Write 3 things you're grateful for every day. Behavioral activation is effective for both depression and anxiety. When anxious, there's a tendency to withdraw. Instead, deliberately schedule pleasurable or meaningful activities. Clarify values. Identify your core values, then align your actions with those values. Self-monitoring shows you patterns. Track mood and anxiety triggers. Habit stacking helps establish new behaviors. Attach a new practice to an existing habit. Practice self-compassion. When anxiety happens, show kindness instead of judging yourself. Social anxiety is very common and feels very isolating. Fear of going to parties, nervousness when meeting new people, panic from public speaking, these are all forms of social anxiety. The first thing to understand is that everyone is busy thinking about themselves, not about you. The spotlight effect is real. Prepare for social situations, but don't over-prepare. Think of some conversation starters, but don't create a whole script. Be conscious of body language. Make eye contact, smile, keep an open posture. Gradually increase exposure in social situations. Take small steps. In performance anxiety, preparation is the biggest anxiety reducer. The more prepared you are, the less anxious you'll feel. Reframe the performance situation. It's not a threat, but an opportunity. Develop a pre-performance routine, specific warm-up, visualization, breathing exercises. Normalize mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Health anxiety or hypochondria is also a growing problem, especially in the internet age. Googling every small symptom and reading about the worst diseases takes anxiety into a spiral. In health anxiety, reassurance-seeking behavior is common, but reassurance gives temporary relief and reinforces anxiety in the long term. Limit information consumption. Don't Google symptoms. Normalize body sensations. Something is always happening in the body. Learn to tolerate uncertainty. Complete certainty about health is never possible. In test anxiety, preparation is necessary, but last-minute cramming increases anxiety. A consistent study schedule is better. In dating anxiety, remember that dating is a numbers game. Not every person will be compatible, and that's okay. Be authentic. Trying to present a fake personality to look impressive is exhausting. In driving anxiety, gradual exposure is helpful. First familiar routes, then new routes. In flying anxiety, understand that flying is statistically very safe. Use distraction techniques. For every specific anxiety situation, the same core principles apply. Gradual exposure, cognitive restructuring, practical preparation, and self-compassion. Now it's time to consolidate everything and create a sustainable long-term plan. Creating a personalized plan is necessary that suits your specific needs, lifestyle, and challenges. Do a self-assessment. Understand your anxiety deeply. When does it trigger? In which situations? What are the physical symptoms? Maintain an anxiety journal for a few weeks. Patterns will emerge. From the techniques you've learned, choose the ones that resonate with you. Don't try to do everything at once. A morning routine should be one pillar. This is non-negotiable. Identify daily non-negotiables. These are practices you'll do every day no matter what. Also plan weekly practices, longer workout sessions, meal prep, therapy sessions. Keep an emergency toolkit ready. When an acute anxiety episode happens, decide in advance what you'll do. Build a support system. Isolation worsens anxiety. Don't stigmatize professional help. A therapist can make a huge difference in anxiety management. Make a plan for setbacks. Progress is not linear. There will be bad days. Practice self-compassion consistently. You're already struggling with anxiety. Don't make it worse by criticizing yourself. Track progress. Measurement matters. Celebrate progress, no matter how small. Integrate lifestyle factors. Sleep, nutrition, exercise are fundamentals. Set values-driven goals. Why is anxiety management important for you? Do a quarterly review. Reassess your plan every 3 months. Cultivate a growth mindset. Anxiety management is a journey, not a destination. Include preventative measures too. Use stress management techniques in daily life, not just in crisis. Find community, support groups, online communities. Continue education. Keep reading about anxiety. Cultivate gratitude and meaning. Regular gratitude practice and engaging in meaningful activities provides perspective. Maintain flexibility. Some days the plan won't be followed perfectly, and that's okay. Keep a long-term vision. Anxiety management is not an overnight achievement. It's a lifelong practice. But with consistent effort, genuine transformation is possible. Remember that you are bigger than your anxiety. It's one part of you, but not your whole identity. Building resilience is possible. Every small step matters. You are capable, you are strong, and you deserve peace and happiness. Trust your journey and keep moving forward with compassion. Learning to live with anxiety is a process that takes time. Some days will be very good when you'll feel you've conquered anxiety, and some days will be difficult when it seems nothing is working. Both are normal. What's important is that you don't give up. Every small practice, every breathing exercise, every moment when you challenge a negative thought, every time you step out of your comfort zone, all of this makes you a little stronger. Progress is not always linear. Setbacks will come, but they don't define your overall journey. Be patient with yourself, be kind, and remember that recovery is not a straight line. It comes with ups and downs. The tools and techniques you've learned are always with you. You just have to use them. Maintain your support system. Stay connected with people. Share your feelings. Anxiety grows in isolation. It reduces in connection. There's no shame in seeking professional help. Actually, it's a sign of strength that you're taking your mental health seriously. Therapy, medication, support groups, whatever works for you is right. Everyone's journey is different. Don't compare with others. Walk at your own pace. Use your own methods. What works for you might not work for someone else, and that's completely okay. Living with anxiety is a challenge, but it's not impossible. Millions of people live successful, happy, fulfilling lives with anxiety. It doesn't define you. It's just one aspect of you. You are so much more than this, more capable than this, stronger than this. Recognize your strength, acknowledge your progress, and trust your future. You deserve peace, happiness, and a life that's not controlled by anxiety. This journey isn't easy, but it's worth it. Every day is a new opportunity to do a little better, to learn a little more. Take small steps, be consistent, and believe in yourself. You can do this. You're already doing it just by reading or listening to this content. This is the first step, and every journey starts with the first step. Keep moving forward, pick yourself up when you stumble, and remember, you're not alone in this journey. Many people are going through the same struggle, facing the same fears, holding the same hope for a better future. Together, we are strong. Together, we can heal, and together, we can learn to manage anxiety in a healthy, sustainable way. Your journey is yours, unique, valuable. Embrace it, learn from it, and grow in it. Your best version is waiting for you on the other side. Just keep moving forward, one step at a time, one breath at a time, one day at a time.